Good evening, Pinvatuni. You are joining us online to our daily Buddha Puja, Paritta chanting, Dhamma reflection and meditation on loving kindness. It should take about an hour. So since we began to observe Vasa at London Mindfulness Meditation Center, we decided to organize a series of Dhamma talks which will end in October, 24th October, when we hold our Kathina ceremony. So today the Puja and Dhamma Desana is sponsored by Mr. Ranjit and Mrs. Ramyalata Nilahandi, along with their children Tarushi and Tisandu. Their main intention is to bless everyone participating with good health, happiness and success, especially during this pandemic time. They'd also like to bless their children with good health and every success, especially with their education. Also the couple are joined with family friends, Gordon Shirley Hudson and Nilu Nilahandi. So with their support, they also intend to bless their departed parents. May they all be well, happy and peaceful wherever they are. So with those kind intention, Mrs. Ramyalata arrived at the center to make the offerings and are participating with us now. So we will do Buddha Puja first and then do Ratana Sutta chanting, and after that we will continue with our Dhamma discussion series and then end the session with loving kindness meditation. So if your friends do not have Facebook, you can direct them to YouTube channel lmmc.online so that they can participate for about an hour religious observances from home during this pandemic time. So if you are wishing to sponsor a day to dedicate to for something, please do contact the center or one of the members of the Dayaka so that they can direct you, and then you can dedicate the event during this Vas season, when it is meant to have a close relationship between the devotees and the Sangha and enhance their Dhamma knowledge and Dhamma practice. So with that short introduction, I would like to ask you to say Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa 3 times to observe 5 precepts. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, පානාතිපාතා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. අදින්නාදානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. කාමේසු මිච්ඡාචාරා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. මුසාවාදා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. සුරාමේරය මජ්ජපමා දට්ඨානා වේරමණී සික්ඛාපදං සමාදියාමි. තිසරණේන සද්ධින් පංචශීලං ධම්මං අප්පමාදේන සම්පාදේ තබ්බං. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. නමෝ තස්ස භගවතු අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. ඉතිපිසෝ භගවා අරහං සම්මා සම්බුද්ධෝ විජ්ජාචරණ සම්පන්නෝ සුගතෝ ලෝකවිදු අනුත්තරෝ පුරිස ධම්මසාරථි සත්තා දේව මනුස්සානං බුද්ධෝ භගවාති. බුද්ධං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. යේච බුද්ධා අතීතා ච යේච බුද්ධා අනාගතා පච්චපන්නා ච යේ බුද්ධා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා. නත්ථි මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං බුද්ධෝ මේ සරණං වරං. ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං. උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං පාදපං සුවරුත්තමං. බුද්ධේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ බුද්ධෝ කමතු තං මමං. ස්වාක්ඛාතෝ භගවතා ධම්මෝ සන්දිට්ඨිකෝ අකාලිකෝ ඒහි පස්සිකෝ ඕපනයිකෝ පච්චත්තං වේදිතම්බෝ විඤ්ඤුහිති. ධම්මං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි. යේච ධම්මා අතීතා ච යේච ධම්මා අනාගතා පච්චපන්නා ච යේ ධම්මා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා. නත්ථි මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං ධම්මෝ මේ සරණං වරං. ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං. උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං ධම්මං ච ත්‍රිවිධං වරං. ධම්මේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ ධම්මෝ කමතු තං මමං. සුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ ශාවක සංඝෝ උජුපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ඥායපටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ සාමීචි පටිපන්නෝ භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ යදිදං චත්තාරි පුරිස යුගානි අට්ඨ පුරිස පුග්ගලා ඒස භගවතෝ සාවක සංඝෝ ආහුනේයෝ පාහුනේයෝ දක්ඛිනේයෝ අංජලි කරණීයෝ අනුත්තරං පුඤ්ඤක්ඛෙත්තං ලෝකස්සාති සංඝං ජීවිතං යාව නිබ්බානං සරණං ගච්ඡාමි යේච සංඝා අතීතාච යේච සංඝා අනාගතා පච්චපන්නාච ඒ සංඝා අහං වන්දාමි සබ්බදා නත්ථි මේ සරණං අඤ්ඤං සංඝෝ මේ සරණං වරං ඒතේන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු මේ ජය මංගලං උත්තමංගේන වන්දේහං සංඝං ච ත්‍රිවිධෝත්තමං සංඝේයෝ කලිතෝ දෝසෝ සංඝෝ කමතු තං මමං ඝනසාරප්පදිත්තේන දීපේන තමදංසිනා තිලෝකදීපං සම්බුද්ධං පූජයාමි තමෝනුදං ගන්ධ සම්භාරයුත්තේන ධූපේනාහං සුගන්ධිනා පූජයේ පූජනීයන්තං පූජා භාජන මුත්තමං වන්න ගන්ධ ගුණෝපේතං ඒතං කුසුම සන්තතින් පූජයාමි මුනින්දස්ස සිරිපාද සරෝරුහේ පූජේමි බුද්ධං කුසුමේන නේන පුඤ්ඤේන මේතේ නච හෝතු මොක්ඛං පුප්පං මිලායාති යථා ඉදම්මේ කායෝ තථා යාති විනාශ භාවං අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ පානීයං පරිකප්පිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පටිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ ගිලාන පච්චයං ඉමං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පටිගන්හාතු උත්තම අධිවාසේතුනෝ භන්තේ සබ්බං සද්ධාය පූජිතං අනුකම්පං උපාදාය පටිගන්හාතු උත්තම වන්දාමි චේතියං සබ්බං සබ්බඨානේසු පතිට්ඨිතං සාරීරික ධාතු මහා බෝධින් බුද්ධ රූපං සකලං සදා යස්ස මූලේ නිසින්නෝව සබ්බාරි විජයං අකා පත්තෝ සබ්බඤ්ඤුතං සත්තා වන්දේ තං බෝධිපාදපං ඉමේ ඒතේ මහා බෝධි ලෝකනාථේන පූජිතා අහම්පිතේ නමස්සාමි බෝධි adhiraja namatte kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang acchayang khamame bhante bhuri panya tathagata kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang acchayang khamame dhamma sanditthika akalika kayena vacha cittena pamadena maya katang acchayang khamame sangha supatipanna anuttara ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya ettavata ca amhehi sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhiya idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo idamme ñātīnaṃ hotu sukhita hontu ñātayo imina punya kammene mami bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya idamme punyang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, so now we are going to chant Ratana Sutta, especially to bless the sponsors and everyone participating online. Okay, so today's sponsorship is taken by Mr. Ranjit Nilahandi and Mrs. Ramyalata Kalagama Atogedere. They are blessing their children, Tarushi and Tisandu Nilahandi, for their good health, happiness, success, and also may they be successful in their education and in every path they take in future. Also joining are Gordon Shirley Hudson and Nilu Nilahandi, wishing everyone good health and happiness as well. So the sponsors, Mr. and Mrs. Nilahandi, would like to also dedicate this program to their departed parents who have passed away. So may they rejoice in this Pinkama and then be happy and peaceful wherever they are. Eventually may they attain the blissful state of Nibbana. So we also dedicate this to all our listeners today, joining in this online community as a community. May you all enjoy good health and happiness during this pandemic time. May you be well, happy and peaceful. So if there are any family or friends affected by illnesses or by COVID-19, bring them to your thoughts and wish them speedy recovery, good health and happiness. We also dedicate this to all key workers who work very hard, tirelessly to look after the nation, the world, and especially our doctors and nurses working hard on the clock to look after the patients and their families. May they have more courage and determination to look and care for everyone. So with those kind and compassionate intention, we are going to chant Paritta. So please listen to the chantings with great attention and respect. Samanta Chakravalesu Atra Gacchantu Devata Saddhammang Munirajassa Sunantu Saggamokkadang Parittasavana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Parittasavana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Paritta Dhamma Savana Kalo Ayang Bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Yani dabhutani samagatani bummani vayani vayantalikhe Sabbeva bhuta sumana bhavantu atopi sakkacca sunantu bhasitam Tasmahi bhutani sametha sabbe mettam karota manusiya pajaya Divacharatto chaharanti baling tasmahi nirakkata appamatta Yankinci vittang idhavahurang vasagge suvayang ratanang panitang Nano samang atti tathāgatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Khayang viragang amatang panitang yadajjaga sakke muni samahito Natena dhammena samatti kinci idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Yang buddha settha parivannai sucing samadhimanantarikanyamaho Samadhinatena samona vijjati idampi dhamme ratanang panitang Etena saccena suvatti hotu Ye puggala attha satang pasattha cattari etani yugani hanti Te dakhineya sugatassa savaka ete sudinnani mahappalani Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Ye suppayutta manasa dalhena nikkamino gotama sasanam hi Te patti patta amatang vigaiha laddha mudha nibbuting bhunjamana Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Yathindakhila pataving sitosiya chatubhi vatebhiya sampakampiyo Tathupamang sappurisang vadami yo variya saccani avecca passati Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Ye ariya saccani vibhavayanti gambhira panyena sudesitani Kincapi te honti busappamatta nate bhavang attamang adiyanti Idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu Sahavassa dassana sampadaya tayasu dhamma jahita bhavanti Sakaya ditti vichikichitanca silabbatang vapi yadatti kinci Chatuha payehi ca vippamutto cacabithanani abhabbo katung idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu kincapi sokammang karoti papakang kayena vaca udacetasava abhabboso tassa paticchādāya abhabbata dittha padassa buttā idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu vanappagumbe yatha pussitagge gimhanamase pathamasmin gimhe tathapamang dhamma varang adesai nibbānagāmiṃ paramang hitāya idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu varo varanyo varado varaharo anuttaro dhamma varang adesai idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu khinang puranang navang natti sambhavang viratta citta ayatike bhavasmin te khina bija avirulhichhanda nibbanti dhīra yathāyang padipo idampi sanghe ratanang panitang etena saccena suvatti hotu yānīda bhūtāni samāgatāni bhummāni vāyāni vayantalikhe tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang buddhaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu yānīda bhūtāni samāgatāni bhummāni vāyāni vayantalikhe tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang Dhammaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu yānīda bhūtāni samāgatāni bhummāni vāyāni vayantalikhe tathāgatang deva manussa pūjitang saṅghaṃ namassāma suvatti hotu etena sacca vajjena dukkha upasamintu te etena sacca vajjena bhaya upasamintu te etena sacca vajjena roga upasamintu te sabba buddhānubhāvena sabba dhammānubhāvena sabba saṅghānubhāvena buddha ratanang dhamma ratanang sangha ratanang tinnang ratanānaṃ ānubhāvena caturāsīti sahassa dhammakkhandhānubhāvena pitakattayānubhāvena jinasāvakānubhāvena sabbete roga sabbete bhaya sabbete antarāya sabbete upaddava sabbete dunnimitta sabbete avamangala vinassantu ayuvaddhako dhanavaddhako sirivaddhako yasavaddhako balavaddhako vannavaddhako sukhavadhako hotu sabbada dukkha roga bhaya vera soka sabbe paddava aneka antarāyāpi vinassantu ca tejasa jaya siddhi dhanang labhaṃ sotti bhāgyaṃ sukhaṃ balaṃ siriyāyu ca vanno ca bhogaṃ buddhi ca yasava satavassā ca āyu ca jīva siddhi bhavantu te devo vassatvakalena sassa sampatti hetu ca pīto bhavatu loko ca raja bhavatu dhammiko ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika puññantaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkantu loka sāsanaṃ ākāsattha ca bhummattha deva naga mahiddhika Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu dhamma desanang Akasatha cha bhummatha deva naga mahidhika Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mam paranti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So may you all be well, happy and peaceful. The chanting is dedicated to all of you participating online. May you all be well, happy and peaceful. May you enjoy good health during this lockdown and pandemic times. If you have any family friends who are ill, bear them in your thoughts and wish them well. May they rejoice in our Pinkama, Punyakama, and may they be happy. May everyone enjoy good health especially. Okay, so today we are continuing our discussion from yesterday. So during this Was or Rains retreat, we have decided to share or discuss knowledge from the Dhammapada. So if you are a new participant, the Dhammapada is a text where all the sayings, not all the sayings, some wise sayings of the Buddha are quite put in short and succinct format in verses. And there are 423 verses, and so the book itself is titled Dhammapada, so teachings of the Buddha. So it's a very good book, and there are lots of verses where someone can get insight of the Dhamma by even reflecting on a couple of verses. So during this first retreat, we decided to use that, and we will see how far we go. The end of the series will be the day prior to Kathina, which is Kathina Day is on the 24th of October. So until then we will do a selection of gathas. So yesterday we referred to the verse 7 and 8, and I will again just recite the gatha in Pali, the language used by the Buddha. Subhanupassing viharantang indriyesu asangutang bhojanam hicha amattanyung kusitang hina viriyang tangve pasahati maro vato rukkang vadupalang Asubhanupassing viharantang indriyesu susangutang bhojanam hicha amattanyung saddhang aradha viriyang tangve nappasati maro vato selang vapabbatang. Okay, so we discussed this briefly yesterday, the meaning. Whoever lives contemplating, on pleasant things, just seeking pleasant, things, desireful ones, with senses unrestricted, and not moderate in food. Very lazy and inactive, Mara or the temptation will blow or will overthrow this person as if as the wind would overthrow a weak tree. So the opposite of it is if you contemplate on the impurities, you control your senses. If you are good, moderate in your food, full of faith and sustained energy, the Mara cannot overthrow you, as the wind cannot overthrow a big mountain with lots of rocks. So these two gathas were uttered by the Buddha, actually to two young monks. Okay, so two brothers entered the monkhood. And the young one was not following out of interest, but just maybe to support. But somehow there was no faith in the sasana, in the Buddha Dhamma. He was just being a monk. He used to always look for material pleasures. This young monk used to also allow temptations to overtake him. And eventually, he used to even think, as a previously married person, he used to think of his wives, and then one day, without being able to maintain his faith in the ordination, he left and then returned home. Okay, whereas the elder brother who continued to dedicate his practice was able to stay as a monk. So we did remind ourselves yesterday that although this was directed to some monks, maybe there's a lot we can still learn so that we can enhance our Dhamma and knowledge from here. So when you look into what sort of temptations we could get into and what sort of misunderstandings we could get into first, we referred to what we call distortions of the mind. Okay, and that is what makes people be deluded. And when that delusion exists in the head, which is or in your minds, then what happens is we would be pursuing into extreme format pleasures through our senses. So the second the first two lines is, if you see always seek pleasant things. So when you say the word pleasant things, it is always that there is something deeply rooted in our desires. So when we want to meet or have those pleasant things, then there is sometimes factor counted into, like if you cannot get it easily, then you start working to achieve that either by hook or crook, and slowly go into negative habitual patterns. So then the second one was obviously to be control in senses. So if you are really in the desire zone, sometimes the senses cannot be controlled because we are looking into certain pleasures and seeking certain pleasures. And when that is there, obviously, when you are deluded in that format, as you can see down the lines of the Gatha, that you start becoming inactive or lethargic, because your whole state of mind or whole formation or thinking pattern is completely trying to get that. So no matter what you're doing, you're always underneath thinking about that, and then slowly becoming lazy. So when you look into this, so yesterday we discussed a little bit about what used with the word using distortion, something that that we perceive certain things differently, and therefore we become deluded. Okay, and then so we in the Vipallasa Sutta we discussed that there are times, or most of the time, or in fact all of the time, we see impermanent things as permanent. Okay, so we see that we don't see the changing nature in reality, in true sense. We know things change, so we brought an example of a seed turning into a small plant. So we know that it has changed, but we don't see the gradual change. Okay, so when we statically look at it, or when we look at it index wise, we see that there is a seed and there is a plant, and so, but then obviously it has changed. And when we apply that, when we even apply that there is a seed, and when we take that there is a seed, then we have applied the understanding of permanent or notion of permanence into the impermanent state. So we have so that is what we do. We always imply or apply the notion of permanency into things that are impermanent, and this is why we are still in the samsara, not being able to understand that things are impermanent. So especially in this pandemic time, we hear in the news so many people are passing away, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, COVID-19. But when it strikes to someone who you really know closely, then even that death starts, that notion of life and death starts hitting you or kicking into your understanding. Okay, and then when you see that this person is alive and this person is dead, then we know the change. So when we look at this distortion, we have to remember that sometimes this distortion, slowly becomes into what we call ditti vipallasa. Okay, so this is a new context now. So firstly, in seeing something in the top level, gross level, would be like sanya vipallasa. Number one is sanya vipallasa. We see things in a distorted mind. Sometimes, we misunderstand certain things. We take, a rope as a snake, or a snake as a rope, or a white piece of paper as a rabbit in the bush in the night. So sometimes, we do get distorted, and the perceptions start to get distorted. Now imagine this word, the perception getting distorted. Just have a thought, how many times do we sometimes perceive certain things in a wrong way? It's a lot of times, we mistake things. Sometimes these perceptions become so much so that we always trace we always try to search our memory bank of that particular thing, and we compare our experiences to it, and this perception becomes it tricks us. And so when this perception tricks us, and then our mind will come to a stage that even the mental thought is going to be in a distorted form. Okay, so sometimes not, for example, we used the example yesterday, even the flowers that we offer to the Buddha is meant to actually give us the perception of anicca sanya. Okay, so I offer these flowers to you, but and so is my body going to fade away. These flowers fade away, so is my body going to fade away. So this meditation is loosely taken sometimes, because that is at the top level. So we understand that. So that is, but if we do not understand that, we will never ever realize that things are impermanent. Okay, so when our mind are distorted, when we don't see the changes in our bodies even, so let's say, for example, the state of distortion in the mind would be like, even when you go to in front of the mirror in the morning, as soon as you see something in your face, you will think, oh, I wish this wasn't there. Or so you will start expecting something and not accepting the reality, and you'd want to do certain things. You will actually do anything that will make you look nice and beautiful. That's fair enough, that is needed. But imagine, our mind got hooked into one thing, and then say, for example, the food that we eat. We look at the nice food and we eat enjoyed food. That's very good, but we forget that the food is subject to go bad in a few minutes. Once no one would like to would see a chewed food that comes out of your mouth. Sometimes if you see certain things that are not part of the food, like hair, we feel disgust. Now, those are not seen, that nature is not there when you actually get hooked into the food that you really, really wanted to eat. We forget that this is impermanent, and then we indulge in the food sometimes, and sometimes we will forget that actually the food has the tendency to be out of your body in the next few hours, and then we still actually we still entertain ourselves with lots of food sometimes. So it's okay, as a living person we need food, but we shouldn't live to eat. We should eat to live, but not live to eat. Okay, and there are lots of people who just keep on binging on food as well. So that's why the word bhojanamicha mattanyu was in the Gatha. But when it comes into chitta vipallasa, so we're looking at that, when the mind gets distorted, the mind comes to a state that you don't realize this is changing, and you don't see the change. Okay, so what we do is, as I said earlier, we see the seed as seeds, we see the small plant as plant, we see the big tree as big tree. So we see them in stages. Okay, now this becomes the habit. Okay, so when this becomes habit, when we see that as those, we're not seeing the underlying or the hidden or the subtle form of impermanence. It becomes then there are certain understanding in our lives also. They turn out to be what we call ditti vipallasa. There is a form of once this understanding from the second level, when it becomes habitual, it becomes a fixated view. It becomes a fixated view, like life and death. They are fixed views, two views, and then we only see those two sharp distinctions. We don't see the gradual change every day, like when you go in front of the mirror, your hair growing gray, or you're becoming ill, or certain experiences that we don't find. So this habitual understanding and then slowly starts getting to be your fixed view, and this is quite dangerous sometimes according to Buddhism, because we don't know, we are that distorted form. We think that it is the real, and then when it becomes a ditti, then that will slowly turn out to be the first fetter that stops you from even understanding the reality. So there's no way you can even try to understand the sakkaya ditti. So we'll be what ditti vipallasa. So we will start having this understanding that your fixed view, or when it becomes habitual, and all of your actions, all of your thoughts, all of your words are going to be driven by those things, and this distorted mind will then start just engaging in unwholesome, because you have not understood it, so everything might be unwholesome in the longer run. Okay, so if you can, so we can see that the basic distortion is quite different to your thinking distortion, and when the thinking distortion becomes accepted by you in a diluted format, it becomes a fixed view or fixed distorted view that is resident in your mind, and it starts to ferment, and everything that shoots out of it becomes distorted as well. Okay, so that is one way of looking at that. So the second distortion is about the seeing happiness all the time, even in the things that might make you suffer. Okay, so the word is dukkhe sukha sanjino. So there are things that we seek happiness from. We have to realize that now please do not take from a pessimistic approach. Buddhism is not pessimism. Buddhism is trying to make you understand the reality. It is not trying to say don't enjoy life. Okay, because this is completely wrong. This is a wrong interpretation. What we are trying to say is don't cling on to those things so that you lose the happy moment that you could perhaps be now. Okay, so the word here is about seeking something in an extra or more format. Seek and say entertaining yourself with certain thing, but then also realizing that this entertainment, this happiness is not going to last longer. So don't cling on to it. Just let it go. It's gone. So when we do certain things, we always are deluded, imagining that this is the best, this is the ultimatum, this is happiness, there's nothing beyond this. That sort of mentality we do sometimes bring into our heads. Let's say, for example, you listen to a song, and we slowly, a second time, third time, fourth time, then you start getting bored. So seeking happiness through that song then becomes bitter gradually. So next time you hear that song, then you'll sometimes get sick of it. I remember when I was traveling from South India to North India by train, there was a time when one film was quite popular, and every station that song was being played. By the time you got, after 2 days, you went to North India in the train, the same song slowly started to become sort of like distasteful. So you can see, you get bored of things, you can get tired of things. So what Buddhism is trying to say here is about that, you as a layperson, you have to have this happiness called bhoga sukha. You have to be able to enjoy life. As a person, we have to be able to enjoy life. Bhoga sukha, that is one of the happinesses. Okay, but we are talking about here is trying to seek happiness from unhappy things would be like one, obviously, taking an extra step to actually do certain things to achieve certain happinesses. So for example, I'm not saying that you take a loan and do certain things and then start work hard, end up paying the loan. So that is in the top level of things, but seeking I think what we are trying to understand here is that we are trying to seek certain type of happiness through certain experiences, and this is where the word I'm looking for is an expectation. You expect something from something even before you engage with it, and this is where we could go wrong. We are not being with the moment and the experience at the time. We're already eating something with our thoughts when we see the food, before even the food has entered your mouth. We have entertained ourselves before you even go to the restaurant. As soon as the smell of the food comes, we've already started salivating. We are habitually already eating the food or tasting the food. Yum. And what happens is then what we are trying to see here is understand the reality when it happens, enjoy when it happens, not before, not after. Okay, and we always seek something extra from that particular engagement that you are going to go with. Maybe food, maybe seeing, maybe smelling, maybe touching. So what we do is we then bring into that experience a filter. As I said, we start making this habitual. Remember, once the distortion distortion becomes a habitual ditti vipallasa, we then make that the filtering mechanism to filter the information for you. So what you see is being filtered by that distorted mind. What you hear is being filtered by the distorted mind. What you taste is filtered by the distorted mind. And they come up all the time. Because when we say indriyesu asangutang, it comes to such a level that we seek something more. It's like having a buzz when you take something, and the next time you always seek that buzz. And that's what these addictions are like that. You have 1 drink and 2 drinks, 3 drinks. By the time your body is being habitually used to it, you might take a couple of drinks, or couple of so sometimes you might even go as far as taking like hardcore drugs. So this is how this the buzz that people feel. They want more, and this senses are like that. You see something and you think, maybe you have a picture in your home, and you entertain yourself with that picture, and you always see something in the picture, and this is perhaps a delusion, because that is a memory, this is a picture, that is a piece of paper, but you have actually created a big imaginative something. And this is what we're always looking at in the picture, in the hearing, in the smelling, in the tasting. So this is quite something that we really have to try to understand. What does this distorted mind do? It creates this habitual misunderstanding, which becomes a habitual pattern. Then that comes at the forefront as a filtering process, and during your present moment. And in the Madhupindika Sutta, we are taught that it creates it proliferates into certain things. Once it proliferates, then we are again in the we are lost in the thinking. So whatever you see, so the photo in your album is a memory. But sometimes we think, oh, this is me, this is mine, this is this. Now, to be honest, I haven't seen my mother and father for a long time. But when I speak to them over the phone when they are in Kathmandu, sometimes what happens is what comes to my head, because it's not a video call, it's an audio call, so I don't see their faces. But what comes to me when I speak to them is the last moment I saw my mom and dad. So I have two images in my head. This is my mom, this is my dad. But actually, they are completely different on the other side of the telephone, because it's been 4 years, 5 years now. Okay, so whenever we see certain things in certain experiences, we always seek pleasure. Okay, that pleasure is a self-imaginative pleasure that we seek for, and when we don't have that, we suffer, because then we always make criticisms. That filter process brings criticisms into our experiences, and then we become judgmental always. And therefore there is no happiness. But we always seek that happiness, but we never get that happiness. So when it becomes ditthi vipallasa, we have actually clung into that idea. We've clung into the picture, we've clung into the thought, we've clung into the emotion, we've clung into the, this clinging becomes so strong that it comes in sometimes, when you go deeper, we call it panchupadana dukkha. All these mental formations, we cling to it. And this clinging is what brings suffering to us, what's bringing dukkha to us, sankhara dukkha. So to see your face in the morning and then do something, washing your face is not what we just do. Okay, we actually sometimes think, oh, this or that, and they are all expectations, and then and we seek pleasure in trying to sort of hide or do certain things. We seek pleasure in certain things, maybe things that you do, and that's fine. So that's why what we need to do is actually, when you are doing certain things, be mindful of what you do and engage with it, okay, as what you need to be doing. If it is a duty that you're doing, okay, engage with an experience, but make sure you don't bring in that filtering process, and we be mindful of that, the impermanence. We be mindful that things are changing. Okay, and as soon as we apply this understanding of things are changing, then we will not seek something permanent in that experience. We will not see something permanent in the things that we're handling, whether it become an itchy, ness, or whether it's a headache, or whether it's something on your body or face or something. Once you apply the impermanence, then we won't seek something, and therefore, when we fail to apply, then we will be seeking something, and which obviously, because change always brings unhappiness, dukkha. So change, yada niccantam dukkham, changes always results in dukkha. So the moment we don't understand that, dukkha becomes sukha for us. So that's what the second vipallasa is, because the moment we don't understand that things are changing, the moment we don't understand that experiences actually are subject to change, then there is always dukkha, but we don't see that dukkha. So what we see is, oh, this is entertaining, this is happiness, this is wow, this is wonderful, this is exotic, this is this, that. So all in essence today is about trying to make sure, be mindful of the changes, which when we lose our mindfulness, or when we are not realizing the change, we will be in a deluded format, and when that delusion becomes a thinking pattern, then it becomes a habitual resident in our deep thoughts. And when that is there, that always arises as a filtering process in all our experiences, and we fail to apply, or we fail to understand that things are always changing. And when we fail to understand that, we fail that changing nature also brings suffering. So when we fail to understand that, we think that suffering is not there, and there is happiness in whatever we are doing. Okay, so So all in all, let's learn not to filter and always take every moment as is isolated moment, and be with the experience, and make a choice not to actually cling to it. And therefore happiness will always be there. There will always be peace in the mind. Okay, so so when we start seeing things that bring suffering as for example like changing natures, we realize that, and we will not self-create unhappinesses into our thoughts. Sankhara dukkha will never be in our thought. The dukkha created by yourself will never be there, and then we don't need to seek any solutions outside. The solution is within you. You can bring your own happiness by not creating dukkha, that is called sankhara dukkha. And one possible way is to apply the notion of impermanence. Okay, so I think I only have time for that. I might go into saddha and virya tomorrow to continue with the gatha. So hopefully you have understood something out of today's Dhamma discussion. So it is time for us to meditate. Okay, so this is the time when we think of an ideal happiness that everyone can actually enjoy. It's not ideal, it is possible. Okay, again with the same sort of things that we discussed. Happiness is something where there is no criticism, where there is no prejudiced views, where there is no fixed views. A state of mind that is blissful, that is always rejoiceable, and that is possible to share with other people, because you don't expect other people to not help you or not be there for you when things go wrong in your life. Similarly, when we share the similar happiness with other people, we expect to be for them without any conditions. And unless you think about it before you do these things, it is impossible for us to be compassionate given the moment, as well as when we reflect properly on our own personal performances, we learn how to appreciate other people as well, because certain things can come due to certain shortfalls, and that realization is brought through meditation. Okay, so especially what brings unhappiness to your mind is the dissatisfaction or the regards that comes from attachment. When there is attachment, we feel dissatisfied when we don't have that, and then we sometimes, when the situations are more beyond your expectation, then there is anger or there is resistance, and slowly it turns to be aversion. When it is to do with other people's success and abilities, it is to do with jealousy. So all of these things are what creates a big gap from your current thought process to the ideal expectation that you have. So the more you apply the filtering process, as I said before, the more the gap becomes wide and wide and wide. And also learning how to let go of your clinging nature and your habitual thinking pattern should be slowly reduced with the practice of meditation. So therefore, we practice meditation every day simply to remind us that there are things that we need to practice, and those practice can slowly become a habitual practice as we move on. Okay, so so I have 3 requests as always. Okay, so first of all, sit straight, have a balanced body. Okay, so don't slant either ways or you rest your back. Second request is to make sure your hands are not moving. So ideal position is to put your right hand on left palm. And third request is to close your eyes. So 3 things: straight body, balanced body, eyes closed, hands to yourself. And simply follow the reflections, contemplation that I say, and if the stations don't relate, you can skip them. Okay? May I be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to me. May no problems come to me. May no difficulties come to me. May I always meet with success. May I also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May I be free from anger and jealousy. May I be free from stress. May I be free from pain and suffering. May my parents, grandparents, teachers, uncles and aunts and in-laws be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May they be free from anger and jealousy. May my husband, wife, partner, children, grandchildren, brothers, sisters, cousins, nephews and nieces, friends, colleagues, neighbors, and people that are neutral that you meet randomly. May they all be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May they be free from jealousy and anger. May all living beings, including your pets, birds and animals and insects that come to your garden, seen and unseen beings, including all sentient beings, be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to them. May no problems come to them. May no difficulties come to them. May they always meet with success. May they also have the patience, courage and understanding to meet and overcome difficulties in life. May they be free from pain and suffering. May I be well, happy and peaceful. May I be free from pain and suffering. Okay, so thank you for joining us so far. We finished our online live broadcast, which starts at 6:30. With the Buddha Puja, chanting, and then Dhamma reflection from Dhammapada Gathas and Metta Bhavana. So we decided to continue this until our Kathina robe offering ceremony, which is on the 24th October. So during this first retreat, we are sharing to enhance your knowledge in Dhamma, providing you this opportunity to practice the Dhamma from home, and also to deepen your knowledge in the Dhamma. So sponsorships are available, and today the sponsors were Mr. Ranjit Nilahandi and Mrs. Ramilata Kalugama altogether, especially invoking the blessings of the Triple Gem to their children Tarushi and Tisandu, and wishing all family members good health, happiness and success. May the children also succeed in their education. They are well supported by the sister Nilu Nilahandi and Gordon Shirley Hudson, the couple, the family, and bless their departed parents, both sides. May they rejoice in this punya karma and may they be well, happy and peaceful. අද දවසේ අපේ රංජිත් මහත්මයාත් රාමිලතා නිලන්දින මහත්මයාත් තමන්ගේ දරුවන් තරුෂි සත්‍ය සඳු දෙපළ එක්ක මේ අද දවසේ මේ වස්පින්කම දායකත්වය අරගෙන අද දවසේ බුද්ධ පූජාව සහ ධර්මානුශාසනාවට දායකත්වය දරාගෙන බලාපොරොත්තු වන්නේ තමන්ගේ දරුවන් දෙපළ තරුෂි සත්‍ය සඳු දෙපළගේ අනාගතයේ ਸਰවාකාරයෙන් සාර්ථක වේවා, විශේෂයෙන් අධ්‍යාපන කටයුතු සියල්ල සාර්ථක වේවා. මේ කාලේ සියලු දෙනාටම නිරෝගී සුවය ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. ඒ වගේම ඒ අයත් එක්ක සම්බන්ධ වෙනවා ශර්ලි සහ නිලු යුවල. ඉතින් ඒ සියලු දෙනාගේම ප්‍රාර්ථනාව මිය පරලෝකයේ දෙමාපියන්ට පින් අනුමෝදන් කරන්නට. ඉතින් ඒ සියලු දෙනාත් අභව්‍ය ස්ථානයක ඉනවා නම් අතමිදී සැප ළඟා කරගනිත්වා. සැපෙන් සිටිනවා නම් තමන්ගේ සැපතවත් වර්ධනය කොට සංසාරික ජීවිතය සපොත් කරගෙන කෙලවර ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරන බෝධියකින් උතුම් අමා මහ නිවන් සුවය සාක්ෂාත් කරගන්නට අද දවසේ අප කරගත්තා වූ මේ පින් හේතු වාසනා වේවායි කියලා අපේ රංජිත් මහත්මයාත් රාමිලතන මහත්මියත් පුණ්‍යානුමෝදනා වන්න. සාදු සාදු සාදු. විහාරස්ථානය තුළින් අපි මේ ප්‍රාර්ථනාව එසේම වේවා කියලා ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරනවා. ඉතින් හෙට දවසේ දායකත්වයේ දරනවා වස්පින්කමේ Vinoda Bandar Nona Mahatmyat, Dilinika Yativella Nona Mahatmyat, Atulu Ed Paul Dekam Samandula, Ehdawase Harasthani me was Puja bar Genakotita Karno. So tomorrow the sponsorship is by Vinoda Bandara and family and Dilinika Yativella and family. So those two families are sponsoring tomorrow's Dhamma Desana and Puja. And we hope you will join us tomorrow as well at 6:30 and learn the Dhamma and enhance your knowledge, as well as practice and participate, from home in our religious observances during this lockdown and pandemic time. So may you all be well, happy and peaceful, and have a happy evening. May you all be well. Sadhu, sadhu.